G'day everyone, it's Curtis here and welcome to an On The Back Wheel video. Today I'm going to talk about the mods I've done on my KLR650 and give you a rundown on how they're all going so far. So instead of doing an individual video on each mod, I'm just going to put it all together in one snappy video to give you an update on how it's all going. Before we get into it, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Every subscriber really helps. Alright, so for people who don't know, I've done a few mods on my KLR650. New handlebars, Pro Taper bars, ATV Hi Bends, Barkbusters, I've got them on. I've installed a 12-volt socket as well. I've installed a bash plate. This one here is an SW Motech from a Gen 2. On the back I've got an FMF Powercore 4 and I've also removed the airbox snorkel from just here. And the latest mod I've done is installed this here quadlock mount. I'll show you it once I get it off. Put that right here. It is rock solid. I've used it for a few days now and it's been fantastic. So I've got it in the landscape mode because portrait, it blocks the speedo unfortunately, but this is in a perfect spot and it works great here. It's very clear, it's very visible, and you can still see everything here. If you wanted to put a GPS here as well, it'd be a great spot for it. The handlebars, at first I was a bit worried about these because they're a very different bend. They are the closest you're probably going to get without putting risers on to the stock bars in terms of width and the sweep back. When I first got it, it felt a little bit canted back too far, but that's just because they were so different to what I was used to. And now I've got them and I've ridden them for, I don't know, must be nearly 1,000 kilometers. I find them great. They're completely comfortable. When you're on, they're a little bit higher. They're definitely a little bit higher, and they're narrow, which I find fantastic because these stock bars, I found them to be way too wide, especially for off-road riding. They're very hard to maneuver, and you're hitting stuff all the time as well. So these are a really good band. I definitely recommend them. A couple of little things that are awkward are, it's really tight up on here. This side is just touching. You see, just. But I believe that is because, I'll come around here, see the height of my Barkbuster, it's a bit lower here, so I'm going to raise it up. What I've got to do is put these throttle cables underneath, so just undo this, put them underneath, then raise this up a little bit, and then it won't be touching. Look, it's only just there as well, it's only just, so that's just one thing to fix up. If you have a flatter bend with risers, you won't have the issue because it's going to be a little bit higher up here, but I'm very happy with the ATV Hi Bends. The Barkbusters, yeah, these are awesome. I love Barkbusters. It's just so well made. I couldn't be happy with them so far. Maybe a tiny bit closer here so they weren't touching as much, but man, that's a maybe. Like, I'm looking for things wrong with them. They're Barkbusters. You know what you're going to get with these. The Australian made ones are just awesome and they look great and match the bike. I said I was going to paint them. I haven't had time and I just riding my bike at the moment. I might not even paint them. I probably will, let's be honest. Alright, down to the skid plate or bash plate if you're in Australia. The job I done on this, perfect. Hasn't scuffed up at all. It looks great. It fits great. If you're looking at putting a Gen 2 on, fantastic. Definitely fantastic. I know that some do struggle with the stock crash bars, so that's something you got to be wary with. The crash bars that come on the Adventure model, people are putting on bash plates and taking off their stock crash bars, which kind of defeats the purpose, you know, of actually having them when you've got to take them off. But very happy with this. It's been a good skid plate so far. See here, I actually bent this a bit crashing off road, but as the lever is very short and hard to get boot under, having a bent made it easier to get it under, which is great. Alright, around to the exhaust. The exhaust has been really good so far. I would prefer an FMF Q4 because this is a little bit too loud for me. I nearly always wear earbuds on my commute to and from work, so it cuts out a lot of the noise. But it is a little bit too loud. Like if you're doing really long rides, it could just get a bit rowdy. I prefer the Q4. I put this on because this is what was available and I was able to get it locally for a good price. But if you're buying something new, definitely recommend getting the Q4. In terms of fitment and everything, fits great, and this is the one from the Gen 2. Check out my install video if you haven't seen that. Very happy with it. Sounds good. Performance wise, I think it's been really good. I'll take it for a quick ride in a second, but I haven't noticed it being like noticeably lean or anything. If anything, it revs a bit cleaner throughout the whole rev range, especially up top. I think it does rev a little bit more, and it's going back a bit. When I first put it on, took it before my first ride, I was able to do like off-throttle wheelies, which I've never done before in first gear. Look, it's really trying, don't get me wrong, but my stock bike was not doing that. So I'm yet to put it on the dyno. I really want to. I haven't had a chance yet because of the holiday season and everything, and tried to get on that before that, but they were too busy and weren't able to do it. So hopefully in the new year I'll be able to do that, put it on a dyno, check all the AFR readings and see how it's all running. I can't imagine there being too much wrong with it. You know, it just runs a little bit cleaner, could be a bit leaner. We'll have to wait and see though. I'm not gonna make any predictions before I put it on the dyno. I also removed the airbox snorkel. I've been happy with it. Yeah, very happy with removing that as well. I did talk about in earlier videos getting an engine tune done. Now I've got a bit of feedback on that. I've been speaking with the dealer who is cracking the ECU on this, and they said yeah, it's all underway, it's happening, they'll let me know when it's done. The only issue is, if you crack the ECU, I'm led to believe, well, not led to believe, I've been told directly from my Kawasaki dealer, it voids your warranty. So I'm really reluctant to do that now. I was extremely keen to do it, but now I'm very reluctant. So that's something to be wary of. Like if you take it in for a service, they plug it in, it'll throw codes to the Kawasaki computer and basically say, hey, this has been tampered with, your warranty is void. So that's something to be wary about for sure. So I might look in doing a power commander or something like that, but I might just leave it stock if the AFR readings are all good. We'll have to wait and see. I will say I don't really want to put that boat anchor of an exhaust back on. It weighed so much and it was like 5-6 kilos heavier. It's a noticeable difference, especially when you're riding off-road a fair bit like me. I took the bike in for its first service, no issues whatsoever. I did get them to adjust the headlight, as the headlight was shooting just into the absolute trees. The thing is, they didn't bloody adjust it. I think they told me they adjusted it, but then I got it out and it was worse. It was shooting higher, so I've adjusted that. It's really easy to do actually. You just pop in here and there's 2 screws, so I don't know what they were doing. I just got them to do it because I was like, man, it's a new bike, you're servicing it, you should have adjusted it to begin with. Anyway, I've adjusted it and it's pretty good now. The lights are good, the good lights in this. So what I'm going to do is, we're going to start it up. I'm going to show you guys how much this vibrates. This vibrates around, and then I'm going to take it for a quick ride to show you how the FMF sounds and how it runs, and we'll wrap it up. You can see there's a little bit of a wobble here, nothing too bad. We'll rev it up, it kind of evens out once it revs. I do have the vibration mount on it, but honestly, it's pretty fine. So this is how the FMF sounds when you're riding the bike. Pull out here. There you go. Sounds pretty good, rides pretty good. I'm very happy with it. A little bit loud, but some people love that big thumper noise. I personally do love it, but I'm just wary in that I do a lot of morning, early morning starts for work and stuff. It's a bit loud, don't want to wake my baby and stuff. It hasn't yet, don't get me wrong. Plus, she's used to loud bikes. I have a Super Duke, so she's used to that. Duck in here. Woo! Suspension, I've noticed, is a bit soft. It definitely is a little bit soft. Might look into getting that fixed up. But yeah, this is all good. A little bit wobbly with that mount on, but that's going to stop you stuffing your phone, camera and everything. The newer phones, just because they're so good, or all the sensors in them stuff, bikes like this just shake them to death. And that is not ideal. Anyway, speaking of Super Dukes, there's a very quiet one with a stock exhaust. After riding that Speed Triple RS I had for review, this bike, oh, slippery, this bike feels like an absolute lounge chair, hey. Just soft and like a limo. Little crackle and pop there, which could suggest it's running lean, it could not. It could be a lot of things. It could be unburnt fuel, it could be so many things. put it on the dyno and find out. But yeah, still really happy with the KLR. I've had review bikes, so I haven't been putting kilometers on my own bike. So the plan is, before I get another review bike, to go on some big adventure rides, put on some big Ks, get a really good feel for it, and do some cool videos as well. All the mods though, very happy with them. There's not one I wouldn't recommend so far that I've done. That SW Motech fixed great. These bars are really good. I'd probably just want to put them a little bit further forward for riding off-road, cant them a bit further forward. I'll do that after I lift up this Barkbuster a little bit. But yeah, extremely happy. One thing I gotta say is, now it's got these bars on, they're gonna sweep back slightly. The mirrors are a bit further swept back and in the way, especially when you stand up. See, boom, my arm is touching it. So I'm going to look at changing the mirrors. I was going to anyway. I don't really like these mirrors. They're terrible for off-road. So I will do that. But besides that, everything's going great. Alright, that's it for me, everyone. If you have any questions about the mods I've done the KLR650, just ask. I'll get back to you all, or send me a message through social media as well. I'll try to get back to you. Still really happy with the KLR650. Can't wait to do some more riding on it. I'm probably due for a new back tyre soon. The tyre pressure was really low on this, and it's chewed out the middle, so I've got nearly no traction, but I'm going to run that into the ground and then change that rear tyre for something more aggressive and better suited for off-road. Alright, hit that subscribe button. Let's try and keep growing the channel, and send me your comments. Alright, I'll catch you later, everyone. See yous.